Hey kiddos.
No.
What?
Not kiddos.
I mean, you're right. Most of our listeners are like 45.
No more kiddos.
Okay. Hey elderly bitches. Hey geriatrics. What's new? It's Ethan and Molly here.
How's
at
your
Personally I
oatmeal and
Wouldn't.
bran flakes?
Yeah. How's that bran muffin? Hope you're all having a lovely week, enjoying your water aerobics. We're here with another episode.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, no, very fortunately. Honestly, we've come close to the brink a couple times, but we're holding on for you guys, so you better appreciate this. But yeah, I mean, do you have any life updates? Anything new you want to share?
No, my mind just went blank.
Okay. I'm sorry. I do always like ask these like open-ended questions, and then it's like neither of us like have any thoughts or feelings about it.
Like.
But yeah, I'm still very much in the process of being homeless and unemployed.
He's a homeless boo-boo.
No, I'm not. I mean, I am, but I'm not. Thankfully, I've been staying with friends, which is amazing. Staying at my friend Nico's place in Santa Barbara for a week. And that's been really nice to be able to be up there. And then, yeah, just going to be heading back down to Pasadena soon, so.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, crazy times.
Perfect.
Crazy times. But yeah, anyway, me and Molly were talking today, and we thought it'd be fun to discuss some of our worst dates with you guys. Mm-hmm. Because listen, we've got the experience. Yeah. If anyone knows about bad dates, it's us.
I was thinking about them, and I was like, this is pretty much all the dates I've been on. Like,
yeah.
This is all of them. So they're all bad. Like, I mean, there's a reason that I didn't end up dating any of them, so...
No, completely.
Yeah.
And I am more of the vein that, like, if you're not the love of my life, I block out any memory of us, like, going out. And so then sometimes I'm walking down the street, and I'm like, why does that man look familiar? And I'm like, oh, like, I had sex with him.
We were at yoga earlier today, and
this is crazy.
We were standing in the lobby, and they have, like, a TV on the wall, and they show, like, pictures of, like, the people that have come or, like, joined classes or whatever. And I was looking at it, and I was like, oh my god, I dated that guy.
It was, like, mid-conversation. Everyone in the lobby, like, looks over.
They heard me, and then this girl started laughing at me, and I was like, yeah, we went on one date, but he reminded me too much of my toxic ex, so I was like, no.
Real. Very real. But yeah, so whether you're dating a yoga guy, a firefighter, a lawyer, we've been there, we've seen it all.
This is just for your entertainment.
Purely for your entertainment, and hopefully you'll learn from our mistakes.
Look at how much whiter my hand looks than yours in this.
Yeah, sorry, Whitey. But yeah, anyway, do you want to kick things off? Since you are the queen of bad dates.
I am. I was like, I have 8, and Ethan was like, I can't come up with 4, and I'm like, bitch, shut up.
Well, I think you and I have different degrees of trauma too. Like, I have few, but mine are like truly horrific.
Mine are mild.
And yours are like, he didn't open the door for me.
Yeah. Actually, I did write that in here.
See? There we go. Okay. Ready? Go ahead.
So the first one, I think I've already told this story, but we'll just say it again for shits and gigs. But before I met one of my exes, I was like in the dating game in college, and I went on a date in LA. And, well, I think the guy lived in LA. I was living in Orange County, and he, like, picked out this bar that was in, like, downtown LA, like, sketchy as fuck.
Ew, first mistake.
So I had to tell my mom and my sister where I was going, because I was afraid of getting murdered. And being a tiny little 21-year-old, I wasn't like, no, you need to come to me. I was like, okay. And then...
Meet you in a dark, abandoned alley.
Okay, fine.
Turn off my location and don't tell anyone where I'm coming.
Okay. And then I get there, and I'm like trying to be cool. Like, I am freshly single from my long-term relationship. Like,
oof. You're so fragile too after those like after the like serious relationship breakup. You're like just barely tipping your toe back in the dating pool, and so it's always like it can like seriously scar you for life or like give you encouragement to get back out there. So
yeah, and so then I like go up to him. I'm like, hi, nice to meet you. He's like, hi, and I'm like, oh, what are you drinking? He's like an old fashioned, and I was like, oh, can I have a taste? He's like, yeah, and I had just seen him drink it, so I was like, it's his drink, like it's fine. And then I drink it, and he's like, how does that roofie taste?
What the fuck?
And I was like, I was like, what?
The way I would
I'm
have
just like,
panicked.
LOL, just kidding. And then I was like, yeah.
Ew.
So that was shitty.
That's a joke you make with like your friends.
And then the whole
Not like
date was just like
joke.
him
That's
being
scary.
too cool for school and like not paying attention to me and talking to the bartender, and I was just sitting there and I'm like, okay.
Ew, boring.
Yeah.
That is so boring. I hate that.
And that was like one of my first dates back in the dating scene.
There's nothing worse than like going on a date with someone and them first of all, making them come to you.
Yeah.
Then picking the place, and then you getting there already and excited.
Yeah.
When they've put in like zero effort, and then they won't even ask you like personal questions.
No.
Like straight to jail.
It was just me talking the whole time.
That is the worst.
Or asking questions the whole time.
Ew.
Yeah.
It's giving narcissism.
Okay, your turn.
Okay. One of my worst dates was the time a man came over to chill and watch a movie, but then proceeded to make a whole meal in my kitchen for himself. With the meal prep he brought. He also brought tea for himself.
Didn't make you any?
No. And then spent the whole night playing with my roommate's dog.
Was this recently?
I was like, do you live here?
He's been there before. He's the previous roommate, and he's like, this is my house, basically.
You would think. Like, he was, like, too comfortable for, like, someone who you're meeting for the first time.
Interesting.
Isn't that weird? Like,
yeah.
I think it's, like...
You know what? That's a sign of narcissism, because my toxic ex, the first time I met him, he came over to my house, and he was just, like, so comfortable. Like, put his feet up on the table.
I don't like that.
And was, like... basically lived there. He wouldn't leave for like 3 days.
Oh my god.
And
yeah, I was like, don't you have like somewhere to be? Like,
yeah.
It was weird. It was so weird. But basically brought like a whole ass meal over. And granted, he had like a great bod, so it was probably like just him being regimented about his like eating habits.
He's
which
like,
whatever.
Sorry.
But like eat beforehand. It was also like 8 p.m. Like you could have heated that up at your house and had it before you came over. I'm like, this is so weird. He brought this
very
whole
strange.
thing. Isn't that weird? I would never, in a million years,
I would never go to someone's
for
house
the first
and just
date,
start cooking.
go over and then make food for myself.
That's very strange.
Isn't that bizarre?
Just for yourself?
Yes. I was
Maybe
like...
if it's like, they're coming over and they're like, I'm going to cook us a nice dinner.
That's cute. That I love.
Yeah.
But like, even that, like, say beforehand, like, hey, can I cook for you? Blah, blah, blah. Or do you mind if I bring food?
Yeah.
Nope. It was just like, show up, make myself a meal, and then I just sat there and like watched him eat it. it's like, what are you doing here?
Oh no.
I was like, are you squatting?
That's so funny. He's actually homeless.
Literally, I was like, am I gonna have to kick you out?
Oh my god.
Oh my god, so weird.
That's funny.
But yeah.
Speaking of narcissists, I went on a date with a veterinarian when I first moved back here. And he was really cute.
Veterinarians are often very cute. Hot. I don't know what it is, but they're like a sexy
They gotta be
energy.
strong to like wrestle the dogs.
Yeah.
But he basically talked about himself the entire time. He couldn't, he didn't even know my name. Like, he didn't know anything about me. Talked about himself the whole time. And then invited me, so like, we left. He didn't try to kiss me or anything. We left, and I was like, bad date. And then he texted me afterwards, he was like, I have a really nice apartment if you want to come over. Like, it's really nice, and like, my dog really wants to meet you.
Weird.
And I was like, I'm tired, I'm going to bed. And then he proceeded to never text me again, so just ghosted me.
He just wanted to like hit it and quit it.
Yeah.
Boy. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Ugh, that's so annoying. And then like using the dog as like a guise to like, oh, my dog is like so excited for you to come. We all know what the dog is going for. You get there, you're like, where's Whiskers? And it's just his penis with like a little face drawn on it.
Wait, that actually triggered a memory when I was saying that the guy just talked about himself the whole time. I remember another day I went on that I didn't write down. But it was where the guy, he was so nice. He was like a teacher. He just like, granted, he had just gone through like a serious breakup. So maybe he was just
but that's no one's fault. Like, sometimes people are just like going through it.
So we went on this date to an Indian restaurant. He did not talk the whole time.
Nothing.
Like, I felt like I was like a cop trying to get information out of him. Like,
it was interrogation.
It was an interrogation.
You got a light and shone it in his face.
Because I was so uncomfortable, like, sitting there in silence because he was not saying anything. So I was like, oh, where are you from? What's your favorite color? Do you have any pets?
I
like,
hate that.
Have you traveled? Like, and he was just like, yeah. And he was like,
one word
I
answers.
went to Europe. I was like,
Do you
okay.
think he was like autistic?
And then maybe I'm like, maybe he wasn't feeling it. Like maybe he thought I was absolutely hideous or what. We go outside and then there's like a beautiful sunset and we're standing there and I was like, okay, like thank you for dinner. He's like, well, do you want to go do something else? You want to go somewhere else? And I was like, yeah, what do you have in mind? He's like, I don't have anything in mind. I was like,
clearly.
I was like, okay, well then I'm gonna go. Like what do you want me to say?
Did you go? Did you leave?
I left.
American hero. I'm so proud of you. Yeah, like what?
I was like, oh, okay, then
Maybe
like,
he took like a
let's
gummy
just go.
and just like was like didn't realize but was like accidentally nonverbal.
Oh my god.
Sometimes when I smoke,
That
I'm
was
like that.
the worst. That was probably one of the worst dates. Because
That
at least
is-
the other ones, like, they were talking the whole time,
Yeah,
so I
and
was,
you can
like,
judge them.
entertained.
But like when it's just they give you nothing, it's like
I was
it's so painful.
Yeah, it was painful.
That's painful.
It was awful. Yeah.
Thankfully, I've never had a lot of those dates because usually the men I like are insane.
They're yappers.
Yeah, but like, oof, that's rough.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'd do. Another one of mine was when a man came over to watch a movie and cuddle, and he was like super cute guy. I was excited about it. And this was my freshman year of college, so I was in the dorm, and like my roommate had like gone to like see his girlfriend or something for the night. So I was like, yes, gonna have them to myself. Cute. We can have a movie night, maybe have some sex, and he'll like
Have I heard
stay
this
over.
story?
I think I've told this on the pod before.
Yeah.
So he comes over, he's cute, it's like a little awkward.
Yeah.
And he lived like, I think it was like 20 to 30 minutes away. It wasn't very far, but he was like, do you mind if I just crash? I don't want to drive back because it was late. And I was like, oh yeah, that's fine. We did not in fact have sex. So I was like, okay, he's probably just tired. We had some wine, so we kissed and made out a little bit. Okay, we both drift off to sleep in my single bed. Because, like, when you're in a dorm, that's all you have.
Wait, was he drunk?
No, I mean...
No.
We drank, like, 3/4 of a bottle of wine, split.
Okay.
Most people
Were
aren't
you drunk?
No, I had, like, a buzz.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, unless he, like,
Because
pre-gamed...
I know the end of the story. So
Unless he
keep going.
pre-gamed coming over.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I've told this on the pod before. But I drift off into, like, a lovely slumber, counting sheep. Like, I'm happy. I'm on a beach with James Bond somewhere in my dream. And then I hear this, like, trickling, like, a sound of, like, rain falling almost. And I'm like, oh my god, is it raining? And then I wake up, and this man has left the bed. I'm like, oh my god, where did Kevin go? Or whatever his name is. And then look up, blurry-eyed, in the darkness of my room, and this man is standing next to the bed, pissing directly on the floor. Just standing there pissing right on the floor. Like, not even aiming for, like, a plant or anything.
Was he not in the corner of the room?
carpet.
He was in the center of the room?
In the center of the room. Like, I didn't know what the fuck was happening.
Was he facing you, or was he facing the other way?
No, facing, like... Thankfully, no, he wasn't facing me. He was facing away, but I was like, what are you doing? And then I see the piss stream, and I was just like... I was speechless.
And what happened after that?
I was like, sir, like, hello? And then I don't know if he was, like, sleep pissing, like, or if he was, like, if I, like, pissed him off. I don't know. Like, maybe this was some kind of karmic retribution. But I was like, can you not do that? And he was, like, turned around and was like, oh, what? And it was, like, still peeing. And finally the piss stream cuts off. And I'm like, what are you doing? I was like, what the fuck? And then he gets back in bed and just goes to sleep.
No! And then what happened? What did you do in the morning?
I killed myself. No, I didn't kill myself. I wanted to kill myself. I was just like...
You had to step over the pee puddle. Did he
Yes.
step over his own pee puddle? Did he know it was his pee puddle?
We did not address the situation. I was like... Part of me wanted to kick him out, but again, I was like this demure little 18-year-old. Also, this was like one of the like third times I've ever gone on a date with a man, so trauma started early. But I was just like so stunned. I was like, is this a dream? Like, am I imagining this? But I went back to bed and then woke up and the whole apartment smelled like piss the next day.
Oh no. What did your roommate do?
Girl, who knows? He probably thought I went to bed. I was like, and it was on his side of the room too.
What is up with you and like pee apartments?
I don't know. I was not into that. Needless to say, I never saw the man again.
Previous apartment smells very strongly of pee.
I know, I moved out. But, and then he texted me later that day and was like, hey, had fun last night. Let me know if you want to hang again. I was like, were we on the same day?
Maybe he was sleepwalking.
I don't.
And he didn't remember.
I think he had to have been.
There's no way he did that and then like would text you if he did remember.
Isn't that bizarre?
Yeah.
Part of me, I was like, I don't know, because like maybe he thought he would get.
I would have been like, get the fuck out of my apartment.
I should.
Actually, first clean your piss.
If I had like an ounce more self-respect.
Clean your piss.
Clean your purse. Clean your purse.
Clean your freaking piss and get out.
It was disgusting.
Oh my god.
I've never been so humiliated.
Oh, that was great.
Anyway. Whew.
Okay. Number 3. So I once went on a date with a guy that said to me, because I explained to him that I was in school to be a therapist, and he said, and I told him, yeah, he asked, have you ever been to therapy? I said, yeah, I've been to therapy. He said, oh, why would I want you to be my therapist if you've been to therapy?
Oh my god.
And I was like...
Clearly someone who needs therapy deeply would have that thought.
I was like, the logic is not logicking, but
it's
okay.
It's not logicking.
So that was my first red flag. Should have left, but I didn't. So he continued to talk about how he was a very traditional man and liked like heteronormative roles, and then proceeded to not open any doors for me and walk 10 feet ahead of me on the way to his car because we were going to get like ice cream or something at the second location.
That's weird.
Do
you think he was like rushing back to the car to like hide a dead body or like?
I don't know. He was like running in front of me, and
maybe
I was like,
he had like fast food wrappers on the floor or something.
Maybe.
Because I've done that before, where it's like you come back from the bar with the guy, and then you're like frantically run upstairs to like shove your like pile of dirty laundry into the closet.
No, we kind of got to the car at like the same time.
Oh, weird.
But he was like running in front of me, and then he like stopped and like turned around, and I was like, this is weird. And then once we got to the second location with ice cream, there was like these girls having a birthday party, and they were being really loud, and he's like, oh my god, like some girls are just so annoying.
Ew.
And I was like, I'm a girl.
How dare you? My own species.
That's like when men say like, you're not like other girls.
That's also not a compliment.
Don't ever, future husband, you don't ever fucking say that to me. That's not a compliment. That's like, actually
it's
really insulting and sexist. Yeah. And don't come for my like sisterhood like that. Yeah. No, don't do it.
Yeah, that's so weird. That is weird.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know.
But that was it. That one
sounds
was
like
just...
He sounds like a douche.
He was kind of douchey.
Yeah, I would not be into it.
Yeah.
Okay. Here is yet another one where I was invited over to the man's apartment for sex. And so I got ready, was all cute, went over. I'm like, hey, how y'all doing? I pull up, and he had just pulled like 3 loads of laundry out of the dryer.
Okay.
And was like beginning to fold it. And then I was like, oh, do you want to like go, like hang on the couch or like like have some wine, something, like be a good host. Like it's weird to just like have someone come into your home, first of all, and then made me take off my shoes immediately.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, whatever, like I will respect people's house rules. But then proceeded to have me help him fold all 3 loads of laundry before he would dick me down. And listen, part of me respects the hustle because I need to, this is maybe what I should be employing with men.
You need help with
invite them over and get them to do your chores.
I actually had one of, situationship at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
I actually did that to him. But it was not the first date. It was like 5th, 6th time we've seen each other.
That's different. And if it's like a few things, no. This was like every pair of underwear he owned, all of his shorts, every shirt.
First time you met him?
Yes.
Oh my god.
And only time, mind you. And then literally folded the sheets and helped him make his bed, which we then proceeded to have sex on. And I will say, it was some of the best ass eating I've ever experienced.
Well, he sounds like type A. Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, just tell me to come like an hour later. Like,
crazy.
I have my own laundry to do.
That's insane.
Isn't that weird? I was just like, I can't handle this.
I've done that to, like, the laundry part. I've done to one man, one of my friends, and you, probably. You
That's
probably
different.
Help me
oh, my friends? I'm like, bitch, get to work.
Get to work.
But a man that you're meeting for the first time,
no,
that's
weird.
Strange. That's so weird.
Alright, this is my favorite one. Who I've told you about.
Oh, boy.
So, this man... I'm trying to remember our first...
Sorry.
Oh my god. I'm trying to remember our first date. I don't even remember. I blocked it out. But he was fine on our first date. So second date.
Can we get a description? A physical description?
He's like tall. Oh, I remember. The coffee shop we went to today. That's where me and this man went.
Oh.
And we just talked on the... I'll tell you.
Okay.
Hold on. And we just talked on the couch and it was good. He's tall. Like, he was an engineer. Skinny, really nerdy, but he was like really sweet, and we had a really good conversation the first date.
Cute.
So second date comes around. He takes me to a falafel shop behind a gas station.
Love this. He said, cheap date? Absolutely.
Proceeds to tell me that the previous week he had screamed at his grandmother at dinner because...
At dinner? Does he live with his grandma?
Because she revealed that she was in fact not giving him the house that he thought he was like in line to inherit. And so he had not spoken to his grandmother or his mom that week and was fighting with them.
Damn.
So then we like proceed with our date. We go to the movies and then I clearly swerve his like attempt to kiss me. In the parking garage after the movies.
Oof.
He grabs me.
I'm sorry, but the parking garage...
The parking garage in fluorescent lighting in the middle of the parking... Not like I'm next to my car. Like, we were in the middle. Like, there's people walking by. There's
like
kids
cars
walking
are coming
by.
down.
There's cars coming by. And he proceeds to,
like...
That
is not a romantic spot.
No, and I swerve his kiss. And then he, like, grabs me and kisses me. And I'm like, okay, gotta go, bye. And then...
Ew, oh my god, no. I would be, like, out of there
like,
so
take
fast.
a hint. Like, if I'm swerving
or
you, please.
make a move in the movie theater.
Yeah, that's
like,
better.
Why didn't you do the classic, like, yawn, stretch, and then put your arm around the girl?
That's fine.
That's cute. And if you play it up, like, exaggerated, it's, like, it kind of makes fun of the cliche. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that can be cute. You know?
And then I texted him after and I like nicely rejected him like, oh, I just don't think we're very compatible. He goes, well, I've been nothing but nice to you, so I really don't understand, but whatever you say.
Oh my god. Anger issues.
And then...
Oh, there's more?
I went to study at the coffee shop where we went on our first date because it's nearby. And like I'm studying and he like sees me and I'm like, oh fuck. Yeah. And then he like starts talking to me, proceeds to sit down at the table without me saying like, do you want to sit down? He just like invites himself.
No.
Sits down and talks to me for 30 minutes while I'm like studying for an exam. And then I was like, I really have to study. Like,
trying to be polite, but you're like, okay, like I'm gotta get back to this.
And I already rejected him, so I was like, what's happening? And then he texts me after. He's like, so good to see you. We should go out again sometime. This man proceeded to text me. I never responded to that one. Proceeded to text me like 2 or 3 more times over the next couple months. Like,
what?
Hi Molly, I miss you. Like, we should go out again. Like,
weird.
Just thinking of you. I think we'd been on 2 dates.
It was probably like the first 2 dates he's ever been on.
And I was like, sir, no. Like,
that's
please.
a lot.
Like,
that's a lot.
Yeah.
Like, you could honestly grounds for a restraining order. Like, I'm sorry, but like, if you are consistently pursuing someone who has expressed that they're no longer interested.
Yeah.
That is like harassment. It is.
I'm like, no. Like, no is
That's
no.
fucking creepy.
No means no.
Yeah, no does mean no.
Yeah.
Yikes. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That is like unsettling.
Yeah.
Damn.
What's your next one?
How was the kiss at least in the parking lot?
Not good.
Not worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like wrong place, wrong time.
Everything was wrong.
Yeah.
Nothing was right.
Also, I'm sorry, but like read the room. Just because we're on a date does not mean I'm putting off the vibe that I want you to kiss me.
So I told...
Do you know what I mean?
I told the guy... I was talking to a guy I went on a date with recently. You know the pet peeves? I think we did an episode on pet peeves or something. Well, this was like our second
or like
date,
eggs
so
or something.
I felt more comfortable like going through my list of pet peeves, and a lot of them were like dating related. And he was like, read it to me," and he was like begging me. I was like, "No, this is embarrassing," and he was like, "Please, I want to know what your pet peeves are."
Him begging me would give me the ick.
And I was like, "Okay," and then I told him like. One of them is I don't like when guys ask to kiss me before they kiss me, and he was like, well, think about it from like our perspective, like what if we like come on and like you don't want it, and I was like, read the room, just read the room, and like go slowly so that we have a chance to swerve you, like don't grab me, I don't know.
It doesn't have to be. I think guys feel this pressure to do this like Hollywood movie kiss on the first date.
No, not on the first date.
I don't think anyone's asking for that.
Like move slowly, read the room.
Compliment
if I'm pulling away as you're coming towards me, that's a sign.
Yeah, back off. Yeah, and be like, pay attention. Do you know what I mean?
If I'm standing my ground or leaning into you, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
And you can tell, like, let's be honest, you can tell when someone wants to kiss you.
Yeah.
You know?
Dumb.
So, like,
dumb
if
logic.
you can't realize that, that's weird, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, oh my goodness, let's see. Oh, this was fun. Was texting a man on Grindr. You know, just back and forth. Thought it was gonna be a cute night. I was chilling in my house. He was like a little Latin man. I was like, hello, Bobby. Like, come on over. We'll have a good time. It'll be cute. We can watch a movie. We can cuddle. And then proceeded to come to my house and didn't speak any English. Like,
wait, he was texting you in English?
Yes. I think he was translating our text messages.
Oh no.
And then responding, like typing it up in Spanish and sending it back in English. So it looked like he spoke English.
And what?
And I didn't know what to do. I took like high school Spanish, so I could like kind of communicate, but like ask anyone, my Spanish is not that good. And this man did not speak one lick of English. Like, what do you do? I don't know. Even if it's just a hookup, it's like, there's usually like a certain level of small talk that's necessary to get there. And he just like, it was so weird.
You're like, no me gusta tú.
Like, Abby, no. Stay away from me.
Por favor.
Yeah, stay away from me huevos. Yeah, it was just like, I didn't know what to do.
Your eggs?
Yeah. Balls, my eggs. Because Lord knows he was trying to make a baby.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I just didn't know. I didn't know what to do, and so we like hung out, and I think we made out for a little bit. But then it was just like, it was so weird. Eventually, he just like left, and I was like, thank God, you know. Which is like, I believe in love transcending like the degrees of separation of language and culture and barrier. But when you don't speak like any of the same language,
life is a comedy.
I'm like, what are we doing here? Like,
I just see him like I don't know why.
I didn't know what was happening. Is this a joke? I thought he was like fucking with me at first, and I was like, "Oh, you're so funny, lol."
I just picture him like making himself at home, and you like have no idea how to get him out.
I did it. He came into my room and got naked, and I was like,
no, he didn't.
Senor, like I.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. What do you say? I didn't know. It's like, literally, I was flabbergasted. I was floored. Like.
He came in your house and got naked?
Yes.
Did I miss that part?
No. I was trying to preserve some of my integrity by excluding that part, but he came in and got naked and was like, hola, went upstairs, and then like, I didn't know,
He's like, hola,
you can't,
strips
I don't know how
you
tell someone to leave when they're fully nude. It's like, you can't even like, I tried to be delicate about it, but like, he didn't speak English.
I can't breathe.
I didn't know what, I was like, oh, okay.
I not heard about this.
I literally forgot about it until we were like writing up the notes for this episode, because I blocked it. I was like, I wanted to forget it so badly.
That would happen to you.
Oh my god, yeah. It was not good. It was
my gosh.
No bueno. Yeah. So, listen, like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not listen, I love Latino men, and I love like multicultural men, people who are non-white. But like there has to be some level of like communication. You know what I mean?
That was too good.
That's
the best thing I've ever heard.
It was bad. Yeah. So.
No.
You did it. I didn't know what was
How do
happening.
you say sex in Spanish?
I don't know.
That's great.
I couldn't handle it.
Look up how to say sex in Spanish while I tell this story.
Like anal. How do you say anal in Spanish?
You need to learn how to say, no me gusta sex. No necesito.
I don't like sex? Well, that's not true.
No quiero.
Oh, just sexual. Sexual.
No quiero sexo, por
No quiero
favor.
sexo, papi. How do I say get out of my house in Spanish? Get out of... We need a translator.
Oh my god. I just envisioned it like you saying something and he's like, oh, make myself at home? Okay.
Yeah. No, literally. Sal de mi casa is what I need to just yell at him.
Sal de mi casa.
Get out of my house.
No, mi casa, es tu casa.
Yeah, no, literally. So, yeah. I'm sorry, but like, I guess it is a requirement for you to at least speak English if you're gonna go on a date with me.
That is fucking hilarious.
So.
Alright,
Anyway,
my
you
next
live and you
one
learn.
is, a Hinge guy, took me to a very, very, very nice restaurant in Laguna.
Oh, cute.
Recently.
Okay.
Proceeded to only talk about how rich he was.
This is
How he
okay.
went to Yale, and how he was, like, made 6 figures by, like, the age of 21 or whatever.
I'm literally yawning just like thinking about it.
And then...
The Yale thing to me is the only... I hate when people flex in Ivy League.
Yeah.
But like, if you like are chill about it, that I respect because at least you earned that.
Yeah.
But like, I don't care how much money you make. It's not important to me. Like, unless it's a sugar daddy situation, you should not be talking about how much money you make on a date. That's weird.
So then he just talked about how rich he was and how it was like hardcore flirting with me, like talked about how he could think of like 1,000 things to do to me, and then he goes to me immediately after. So there was that one. I have another one. That one was pretty short. But I have another one.
Okay.
This guy, miss him.
Oh no.
I actually have a soft spot for him, and there was other reasons that I cut him off. Or cut it off with him other than what I'm about to say. But this man was like the funniest fucking man I'd ever dated before. I literally was laughing so hard on our dates that I hit my head on the table because I was like full body laughing.
Oh my god.
And then
I love that.
But
face
part of it is
in the
because
spaghetti.
he had so much trauma and he was fucked up. And I love fucked up men because they're more fun and they have humor. So basically...
What was his story?
He was, he told me about how, so he had like these scars on his arms. And I was like,
That's hot.
What are these from?
I like
you
a
have,
scar.
those are pretty big scars.
Yeah.
Mind you, he's a carpenter.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like,
Okay.
did you hurt yourself like carpenting?
Well, some like wear and... Carpenting.
Yeah.
Some wear and tear is like expected if you're like working in construction. I feel
No, but that's not what they were from.
Oh.
He said they were from knife fights from when he was in the cartel when he was 14.
Shut up.
And
Do you think he was
I
making
thought
this up?
this man was like fucking with me.
Yeah.
He proceeded to tell me how when he was 14 years old, he was a really bad kid because he hated his father. So he like, I really hope he doesn't still listen. He also listened to like every single one of our episodes when we went on our first date.
Yeah.
So that's
why I
hope you're
approve
not
of
still
him.
listening.
Number one.
But you have a
fan.
soft spot in my head. Or a soft spot in
your
my head,
head.
in my heart, if you are listening.
I'm rooting for this man. He was in the cartel. Like, he's got a good sense of humor. Like, you could be a mob wife right now.
He was so funny. I actually really liked him.
You
But
should have given him my number.
I honestly should have given him more of a chance. I would have had a very entertaining life. But he proceeded to tell me how he was involved with the cartel when he was 14 because he was like a really bad kid, and then they...
How does that happen, though? Was his brother in the cartel or something?
No, they like... He said there was like a lot of gang violence in his school or whatever, and they like knew of him because he was always getting in trouble.
Oh.
And then they like recruited him, and they're like, we want you to build guns for us.
Build guns?
And they gave him a car to drive the guns out to Palm Desert when he was 14. So he was like driving with a car full of guns, never got caught.
Shut
driving
up.
from
At
like
14?
Southern California to Palm Desert, yeah.
At 14?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then, yeah. What was it?
I'm just picturing
So,
a 14-year-old driving down the interstate, a car full of guns.
And then when he was like 17, 18, he's like, this life isn't for me. He gave it up. And then...
Isn't it blood in, blood out? How do you leave the cartel?
I don't know. But then I didn't believe him. I was like, you're fucking with me. And then he like showed me all these old like Snapchat videos of him like getting in fights, like knife fights with like blood running down his arms.
What the
and like how he got these huge scars.
That's wild. That is kind of hot.
Hot.
I would have been like, we need to have sex
Smash.
right now. Yeah. I'm sorry, you need to call this man back.
I know! Actually, you know what, let me call him.
Yeah. This is gonna turn into Molly's like dating life.
Yeah, but we called him Cartel Man for a long time.
Yeah, Cartel Man, if you're out there listening,
you're a good one. You're a good one.
We should have him on the pod.
No bad blood. No!
Are you kidding? That would be so fun.
I can't ever expose this man's identity. The mob will come for all of us.
Well, give him an alias.
No way.
You never said which gang it was.
We're gonna have to put like, you know when they do the anonymous thing when there's like a
they like blur their face or
they
whatever.
Blur their face and
like,
make
it's
their
all
voice really deep.
It's really deep.
Yeah.
Or we could just put like a brown paper bag over his head.
His scars will give it away.
The jack-o'-lantern. Oh, true. Okay. Damn, okay. Well, I've never dated a man from the cartel, but I did go on a date with this man. This was actually a couple months ago when I first moved to LA. And we went on a date. We were like meeting up for drinks. I'd been talking to this guy for like back and forth for like a couple weeks. He lives in San Francisco, or lived there. He's moved. But he's like, let's go get drinks. And so we met up at this place. He drove to me, which is sweet, because he was in town like visiting friends. But we go out to this bar, like a couple blocks from my apartment for like just lunch and like gonna hang out. And immediately when we walk in, there's like 4 gay guys like sitting at a table in like an empty restaurant. It's like everyone else isn't like gone. Because it's like 3 in the afternoon. It's like a little late.
Okay.
But he knows them, and so he like goes over to say hi and like introduces himself. I'm like standing at the bar because like we'd walked up to the bar, and then he's like, oh, I think I know those guys. Goes over, like introduces himself, like says hi, blah 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 blah. Hugs them, talks to them for like probably like 8 minutes, and I'm just like standing there awkwardly at the bar, and he didn't introduce me at all.
How rude!
And it's not that far. It was literally like a matter of like 4 feet, so I was like awkwardly like overhearing their conversations, but like also like not a part of it.
It's really strange.
Isn't that weird? Like, I've just never experienced that. It was bad manners. So
you always introduce like whoever you're with to.
I was like, maybe he like used to like hook up with one of them or date them. I don't know. The gay community is so small, but yeah, like I wouldn't care. Like I would rather be introduced than be like feel like
bad manners.
Child.
Ethan always makes fun of me because he says like if they don't open my door, I'll break up with them. But
I mean that to me isn't manners, but that is like chivalrous.
Bad manners is like such a turn off.
Yeah. No, it is. Like I've never been more like, oh really? Like, are you like that?
Because that's what they're gonna teach to their children. Like that's you can't.
Well, it's also just weird.
It's
like weird behavior.
That's something you learn when you're young, like little, and you either have good manners or you don't.
Yeah. Anyway, so like after that the date was okay for the most part. We had food and then we went and got like some ice cream down the street and we were talking and flirting. And it was fine, but like he just kept making these like very like cringy, almost like dad jokes. Do you know what I mean? That like weren't funny and then like obviously weren't funny, but like weren't funny to him either. I'm like, why are you saying that? You know what I mean?
Why are you saying that? It's not funny.
And then proceeded to like, after we got our ice cream, proceeded to open his voice notes app and play every single voice note he'd ever recorded.
What were they of?
Of himself.
What were they of?
Oh my god. Singing, like, weird poetry.
On
he
your
said
first
that he
date?
used to be like a voice actor, so some of them were like auditions for like voice actor rehearsals.
Yeah.
One of them was for like Walmart, or like one of them was for Disneyland. One was for McDonald's, and proceeded to tell me how like the like casting director wanted him to sound more like quote unquote urban, and so he did one that in like black voice, which he like was not.
Oh my god!
It was like
strange.
It was so jarring, and I was just like, this is the weirdest thing that's ever happened to me.
That's like when men go on their camera roll and proceed to show you every single one of the pictures on the camera roll, and I'm like, I don't want to see. I don't care about the coffee you had in 2019. Like, please, I don't want to see it.
It's like they need to share their life with someone.
I don't want to do it.
And it's like, part of me thinks it's sweet, but like, until we've been dating at least like 4 months.
Yeah, if we're like in a relationship, I want to know all about your life.
That's different. The first date is like, it's just crazy. I don't know. It was so weird. So then after that, I was like, okay, like, I'm not seeing this person again.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, and then as we were walking back, he like grabs me and starts making out with me aggressively, which I have to say was kind of hot.
I kind of like it.
The kissing was good.
I take back what I said earlier.
But it was so like not the tone of the date. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It was
so
like
out of pocket.
Yes, I was
Maybe
like.
he had split personality disorder.
Who knows? Anyway, I was like, I'm done with this man.
Wow.
But yeah.
I have 2 more.
Okay.
So this one, Ethan reminded me of. So, basically I went out with, I'm tired.
Oh God.
I'm just tired of all these bad dates.
Here we go.
Basically this guy, he was like pretty consistent with texting. Everything was fine.
You met him on an app or what?
On an app.
Okay.
And he was like, let's go to Yard House for drinks. And I was like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, I was a little late because I was dilly-dallying, which I felt really bad about. But I told him exactly how late I was. I also couldn't find parking, so it was not my fault.
And that happens. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah, so we go into Yard House. He has not made a reservation. I'm looking really cute. He's fine. We walk around the bar because he's like, I didn't make a reservation. Let's just sit at the bar. I was like, okay, it's packed. There's nowhere to sit.
That's annoying.
We were at the Irvine Spectrum, so there's also a Dave & Buster's there.
Yeah.
So we proceed. He's like, let's go to Dave & Buster's. So we go into I was dressed for Yard House. Okay.
Yeah.
I was not dressed for Dave & Buster's.
Yeah.
Very different vibe. So
Very
we go in there.
vibes.
I'm wearing heels and like a skirt.
Yeah.
And like a sweater.
Yeah.
And we go in there. The bar is also packed, but we find like an open space.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, stand here and I'm going to go find us chairs. So there's
Find
like
chairs.
kids running. He leaves me there.
Ugh.
There's like kids running behind me, like trying to trip me. There's food all over the ground. It smells like farts. Like,
Now were the farts yours or were the farts the children's?
Well, I hadn't eaten any
of
cheese that
accountability.
day, so they were not mine.
Okay.
And there was like 4 guys sitting next to us.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, when he left, they were like looking at me up and down and like making comments under their breath. And like,
Ew.
I just felt really creeped out and
Yeah.
like weird and like a cheap date.
Yeah.
And
Well, also, Dave & Buster's, that is crazy.
so then we sat there and it was fine. We got drinks. I was just like really uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It was just an uncomfortable vibe. And then he proceeded to talk about how he thought like most women were calculated. Like he did not have a good relationship with his mom. He said she was like a bitch, and he like he didn't trust women.
Huge red flag.
He kept talking over me. He kept saying that he liked me, that I wasn't like leading the conversation and I was letting him lead. I don't know, just all this
and
weird shit.
he didn't like that?
No, he did like that I was.
Oh, he
not
liked
leading,
that you were not, like...
Not leading the conversation.
What the fuck?
Or being like...
That's also such a weird thing to comment on in general.
Yeah, and I was like, okay. And then he texted me after... Okay, so he like... We were walking. He was also a lot shorter than me, so maybe that's why I was turned on. And I was like so uncomfortable by
height
this
or not,
date.
I
like,
would not be having a good time.
I felt just kind of like disrespected that he didn't make a reservation. I take accountability, like I was a little late. But I know he didn't make a reservation. And then we like went to Dave & Buster's. Like there's so many other options in Irvine Spectrum.
Yeah.
And he just was putting in like the most minimal effort and just making like snide comments about like women the whole date. And then he texted, I like ran after the date. He was like, do you want me to walk you to my car? And I was like, no, I gotta go, bye. And I like ran.
I know that feeling.
And then I thought he like got the impression that I was not interested. He texted me later, I think the next day, and he was like, so like when are we gonna go out again? And I was like, sent him my text. I was like, oh sorry, I don't think we're compatible. And
yeah, let him down easy.
He was like, I agree. I wasn't feeling it either.
Well, okay, well clearly
why
that's
do you
not
ask me for a
true,
second date?
Because you were just asking if we were gonna hang out again. Weird. That's so... Men's egos are like beyond fragile.
They're so fragile.
I just like that nothing turns me off more too. Like if I reject you and you handled it like gracefully and
then I'm like, oh damn.
Yeah, I'm like maybe I made a mistake. Yeah, you know. But if you're like, oh whatever, I wasn't feeling it either.
I'm like, oh good. Like,
yeah, I'm like, oof, good luck with that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's just so transparent, and it's like I don't know. It to me reveals like a lack of like emotional like maturity that you can't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So oof, yeah, that is like it sounds like you dodged a bullet.
Yeah, that was a bad one.
Did you win any prizes at Dave and Buster's?
No, we didn't play any games.
You didn't even play any games?
I would have preferred... We could have gone to Dave & Buster's.
That could have been fun.
You just tell me we're going to Dave & Buster's so I don't wear heels and a skirt.
Yeah, I love a Dave & Buster's.
We go to the arcade. I'm having a great time.
Oh yeah,
that's
bitch.
fine.
The claw machine.
It's just the fact that there was like no thought put into it. It was just like, finally, I was just gonna.
Even if it was last minute, he could have made it cute. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He could have been like, all right, listen, I'm gonna grab his drinks. You kick that 6-year-old off the claw machine, and then I'll meet you at Dance Dance Revolution.
Yeah.
Go. You know what I mean? Like that would be so fun.
Yeah.
You know, you just get turned and like trample little kids all night.
Yeah.
That's how you have a good time.
Yeah.
And then you win like a vacuum at the end of the night or whatever it is that you have at Dave & Buster's. But like he was all weird about it.
It was weird.
Ew.
Do you have any more?
I do. This is my last one.
I have one more too.
Oof, okay, so this time I went on a date with a man and I had just turned 18. I think this was like, I was still in high school actually. So this was like one of the first times I went out with a guy. I think I'd maybe been on a date like once or twice before. But I like grew up in such a small town that like there was no gay guys. Mm-hmm. So I ended up driving to Slough, which is like 30 minutes north of like where I grew up. Or south, sorry. And this guy had like gone to Cal Poly. Well, I think we met on like either Grindr or Tinder, and we had been like texting back and forth a little bit, and it was New Year's. So he was like, oh, I'm gonna have like a couple friends over for New Year's, like why don't you just come then? We can hang out, get to know each other, and like see what the vibes are. And I was like, okay. Which looking back, I probably wouldn't do that again because it's like a little awkward to like meet someone for the first time with their friends. But like, I don't know, I was young and like it felt like more low stakes than like meeting them like for the first time, just the two of you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you're young, it's like you do everything with your friends, so it's like whatever.
Yeah.
But I go to this guy's house, and there were people there, thank God. There was like a group of maybe like 7 to 10 people. Everyone was just hanging out having drinks. I proceed to get so drunk.
Oh no.
Yeah. Which, not ideal, but like he kept doing, I think it was on purpose, low key. And I was young, I could not hold my liquor, but like we took multiple shots, and then one of his other friends shows up, who he clearly invited, another gay guy, and then proceeds to talk about how he invited multiple guys that night in case no one showed, like, and so just so that he'd have like a New Year's kiss.
Oh my god!
And I was like, ew, like what? And I thought he was like joking about it, because it seemed like the other guy was friendly, like so they'd probably hung out before. But I like looking back, it was definitely like transparent, like he was telling on himself, and I was like, what the fuck? So then it's like I'm hanging out with him and this guy. I'm like ready to go to bed. The clock strikes midnight. I think I like pecked the guy, and so I was like, do you mind if I crash here? Like I'm so drunk I probably shouldn't drive. Looking back, I probably should have just Ubered, but it's also like it's San Luis Obispo, like it's Uber's barely a thing, and this was also like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So like I was not thinking in that speed. And he's like, yeah, that's really fine, just crash here like in the living room. And so I kind of drift off, and I'm like asleep, and we're all like cuddling and like watching a movie in like this big, almost like mosh pit in the living room, and he's like kind of behind me. And then him and this other guy proceed to like start making out in front of me. And then I'm like, okay, whatever, I'm just like gonna go to bed. And then they try to have a 3-way.
Oh my god!
With my 18-year-old little body.
Oh
and I was
God.
like, oh my god, no. And so I just pretended to go to bed. And I'm also like barely conscious. Like I was drunk. So it was like honestly just like dark vibes. But anyway, yeah, I wake up and like my mom had called me like 100 times, and I was like, oh, hi mom, sorry. But yeah, I would not recommend it. Like if you're gonna be young and gay, like tell a friend where you're going.
Being
like,
18 and discovering like alcohol
Ugh.
is really
yeah,
scary.
that's the other thing. Like, don't drink. Honestly, like, I'd say maybe have a drink on a date.
Yeah.
Like, maybe 2 if you're in a public space and you're, like, over the age of, like, 23. But, like, other than that, like...
It's not worth it.
It's not worth it. And it's gonna, like, affect your perception of the date.
Yeah, I always think a date goes so well, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I actually was just a little buzzed.
Yeah. So, anyway, that was, like...
Damn.
That was not good. But, yeah,
Crazy.
anyway.
I can't believe you invited multiple people.
I was floored. Yeah.
People are really out here doing the craziest shit and getting away with it.
Yeah.
Okay, last one. So I went on a date with this guy I met in a bar, and he like invited me over for wine at his little beach house in Newport.
Oh,
we went
that's
to the
cute.
beach, cuddled, and drank wine. And then he proceeded to that night go into the bathroom and take pictures of his dick on my phone.
You told me about this when it happened, and it cracks me up to this day.
I did not know about it until the next morning, and I was like, what is that on my camera roll? And then, yeah.
Wasn't he, like, making a face in it, too?
Yeah.
You can,
And he's
like,
also, like,
blackmail me.
semi-famous. He was, like, on the MLB.
Wasn't he in, like, a sports league? Yeah, okay. Damn, that's wild.
So, yeah, that was it.
That is so great. Did you ever text him and was like, what the fuck?
He texted me the next day, and then I, like, sent him those. I was like, I think you forgot something.
But also, like, do you think he was just fucked up and he meant to take those on his phone? No, right?
He was really fucked up, so I don't know.
Maybe he thought he was, like, taking nudes on his phone, but he was doing it on
like,
yours.
oops.
I don't know. Either way, it kind of cracks me up. Part of me lives for the energy of, like, taking your dick pic on someone else's phone just so that they remember you after the date. It's like a little souvenir.
Oh my god,
but, like,
crazy.
I don't know that I could recommend that. Yeah.
This was a depressing episode. I don't want to
We should have ended on, like, a funnier note, but, like, it's rough out there. Like,
you know what? I'm going to send this episode to my family when they ask me why I'm still single.
Oh, they don't even know.
They don't even know.
You don't even know.
They think it's all my fault. Like, I'm out here trying.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
It's not great. If you're in a relationship, I hope you appreciate what you have.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was our bad dates.
I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did not.
I hope you, yeah, truly, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you benefit from our mistakes. Learn from our...
I don't know what you would learn, but...
Our lesson. I mean...
Good luck out there.
If a man ever pisses on the floor of your apartment...
That is crazy.
Kick him out. If a guy tries to have a three-way with you... Kick him out.
If a guy jokes that he's roofied you, leave. Don't
leave
stay.
immediately.
Don't
laugh
stay,
at the joke.
19-year-old Molly. What were you doing?
If a man steals your phone and takes photos of his penis on it, probably should go. Give him a block.
Gotta go.
Yeah. So, anyway.
All right, we love you so much.
It's good to have, like, a contingency plan, too. You know?
Yeah.
Like, have a friend call you with a fake emergency.
That's always even
It's
for
obvious,
me.
but, like, sometimes
What
it's
would your
necessary.
emergency be if I called you out? Or I texted you and I was like, I need you to get me out of a date. What would you say?
I'd be like, my hemorrhoid just exploded. I'm headed to the emergency room. You need to be here
I'd be
right
like,
now.
oh my god, I gotta go. My nephew's hemorrhoid just exploded.
Or I'd call you and I'd be like, I'm in labor!
I'm like, oh my god, my nephew's in labor.
Yeah.
And they're like, what?
My nephew's in labor. Honestly, that would work for me. I'd be like, oh my god, you need to go. Do you need a ride to the hospital?
You believe that.
I would.
Alright, we love you guys so much. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next week.
Yeah, bye.